Hello, friends. This is episode 270. We have been producing Champions Mojo podcast for 6 years. We're one of the original swimming podcasts, and we're so grateful that you've been with us for all these years. And today we have a very special interview. I wanted to give it a little special introduction. This is an interview with Olympic champion Katharine Berkoff, who swam at North Carolina State for her college career. And we just came from the celebration of 50 years of NC State women's swimming. If you want more details on that event, then please check out the Champions Mojo blog about it. And this interview I did at the meet with the celebration. So here we go. Welcome to Champions Mojo. Join us for conversations that inspire and empower you as an adult athlete, fitness enthusiast, or master swimmer. Our goal is to make each episode insightful and inspirational and to discover what it takes to build or keep a life of personal excellence. I'm your host, Kelly Pallas, and we're here to champion you. Okay, I am at the NC State Wolfpack 50th celebration of Wolfpack women, Wolfpack women swimming, and I'm with our very first Olympic champion in women's swimming, Katharine Berkoff. And we're coming off this big celebration last night where about 100 women that swam for NC State were at the meet, and you are coming off the post-Olympic year. How has this celebration of seeing all your alumni been for you?
It's been really cool. I've really enjoyed getting to meet alumni I've never met before. And it's been really good to see old friends and old teammates. And it's so strange how different every year is from the last with the new group of freshmen that comes in. But it's fun to reminisce on what was once there. And I definitely miss it a lot. And it's actually really hard being an alumni. Like, I'm watching them racing. I'm just so jealous. I want to be in there too.
So after practice, we did a little alumni swim after the celebration this morning. We're having a breakfast for all the alum, and some of the ex-swimmers stood up and did 100 IM for time, and you weren't in it, but you were cheering for them. What did you think of that?
I was actually pretty impressed. It was fun to watch. They definitely looked like they were hurting a bit, but yeah, I would have been nervous to race them. They are still like really fast girls out of college, and they're not that far gone. So I knew they'd be pretty good, but I was actually pretty impressed watching them. They did pretty well.
Yeah. And so we have this tradition here at NC State of a lot of obviously really fast swimming, but some really fast backstrokers. So what is it like to meet some of these fellow backstrokers that swam 10, 20, 30, even 40 years ago that, kind of set a foundation for somebody like you coming along?
It's really cool because I definitely, when I was looking at schools, took into consideration like what their backstroke program history looked like. And NC State really stood out as a school that had a great backstroke history. So that was a huge reason for me coming here. So it's really cool to be able to meet previous backstrokers. And now our backstroke group is absolutely insane. I think we have at least half the national team in the 100 back. So it's been really special. And it just keeps growing. So it's really exciting. And it's cool to meet the past backstrokers that kind of laid the foundation for the rest of us.
Yes. So you are, like I said, the first Olympic champion for NC State women. And the fact that you had that pressure on you, not just your dad, David Berkoff, already being an Olympic medalist in backstroke, and then being an NCAA champion, and all that you had kind of being ranked third, second and third, going into trials. You had to perform top 2. Then when you went to the Olympics, you had to perform top 3. What was your mindset? Because, I kind of helicoptered up and thought, this is really somebody that has this expectation, that has to perform at trials and has to perform at the Olympics. And you did both flawlessly, like you executed. What would you say kind of some of the keys to doing that were?
I think for me, something I still need to work on a lot is really improving my details in my race. And I feel like 3 years ago, Olympic trials, I thought that since I had a good NCAA season, a short course season, I wouldn't need to worry so much about long course. So going into that year, I didn't do a lot of long course. I just felt like since I was swimming fast, I would do well long course. And I had a pretty good trials, but I missed the team by a couple tenths, and I was one of like several contenders for that second place spot in the 100 backstroke. And that moment was really tough, but it was a big like eye-opening experience, and it made me realize I never wanted to be in a situation again where I felt like I was a contender. I would rather be a lock for a spot on the team. And just the way I had been training the past 3 years, I had no doubt in my mind I was going to make the team at trials. It was still like super scary. Just I think I had a little PTSD from missing the team 3 years ago. Is like such a terrible feeling being someone who puts a lot of pressure on myself. So I was, don't get me wrong, like the most nervous I've ever been in my life before that 100 back final, because I knew that could be the moment that I accomplished one of my lifelong dreams. But I just had so much confidence going into that meet that I had no doubt in my mind that I would make it if I just didn't slip on my start and stuff like that. And just the momentum of the past 3 years gave me a lot of confidence going into the Olympics because I knew my rank. I was going in third. And although I went too fast in prelims on accident, I think I'm still learning how to control myself in prelims so I have more energy for finals. And I don't know, I think the emotions of the Olympics got to me, but being the number 3 seed, I knew I was very confident I would get a medal if everything went correctly. And so I was not as nervous at the Olympics as I was at trials. But yeah, I think just the training I've done over the past 3 years gave me no doubt that I could do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and training is, that's the foundation. I love that. When you know you've done the training, it's so much easier to have a great mindset. So, last night, like I said, we had this big celebration, bunch of alums, and I'm with some of the older people that swam at NC State, and almost everybody that I talked to was like, oh, I want to get a picture with Katharine Berkoff. And that post-Olympic kind of glow and celebrity, and, it's kind of hit you like you're this big deal now, where you used to just kind of show up at things and not everybody wanted to interview you in the hall like I am now, or they wanted a photo with you. How has that been, juggling that?
It's interesting because I'm like kind of socially awkward. But and just I'm a little weird. So it can be tough, but I do think like if I want to live the lifestyle I want to live and be a professional swimmer and make money from my name, I need to get better at stuff like this. So I think just kind of throwing me into it has been a good thing. I've gotten a lot more comfortable like talking in front of people and meeting new people. I'm still not great at it. Still have a lot to learn. I'm signing with an agent pretty soon, so that's going to help me a lot. But I do think it's a good thing for me in the long run, although it can be really tough for me at times, just being the introvert that I am.
Well, you can't tell. You're doing a beautiful job. So now that you are going more forward as a professional, so you've had your NCAA career, what would you say is something you're really looking forward to as a pro?
Honestly, like college swimming is so fun and I miss it so much. It's very exhausting though, especially being a full-time student and an athlete and trying to put good energy into both things and living a life. Now I actually have time to sleep. So I just realized like how sleep deprived I always was in college. Like I never felt rested. I was always exhausted. I'd get to the weekend and be like just destroyed. So now I feel like I'm able to nap a lot and actually take care of myself. So I think that's just been something that's been really fun about being a pro is I feel like I'm getting proper recovery. But like I've been enjoying these few months of not doing much, but I know eventually I'm going to lose my appreciation for it. Going to need something else to do. So trying to figure out hobbies and such to keep me occupied in the meantime.
I love it. So one of your little hobbies is your kitty cat. Tell all the cat lovers out here what about your little kitten or your little cat.
So me and my boyfriend, Noah Henderson, he's an alumni too, and we both graduated the same year, and well, we both took our 5th year, done swimming now for him, but we were driving down Avent Ferry, some of you know this road, and there's this little 5-week-old kitten just running down the sidewalk. And so he pulled over, I jumped out of the car and chased this kitten under a parked car in someone's driveway, and we ended up taking him, and I knew from the moment I saw him that we were keeping him because I decided, like, once I'm done with college, I'm getting a kitten because I literally need one. I can't live without a pet any longer. And so, yeah, we kept him and we gave him a little flea bath, and the rest is history. Now he's just my little angel, but he literally is like the center of my world. I love him so much. He's my child.
What's his name?
His name is Peach. I don't really know why we named him that, but I think he's just cute, and we think he's so cute.
He's a peach.
Yes, he's perfect.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this time. And we're all cheering for you, obviously, from the long line of Legend Pride and all the Wolfpack women and everybody else out there, because I know there's a big Katharine Berkoff fan club.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Takeaways. We've heard from you that takeaways are one of your favorite parts of the show. We have a special guest to do takeaways with me today, and that is my husband, Mark Pallas. He listened to the Katharine Berkoff interview, and here are our takeaways. Enjoy. All right, so I have my husband, Mark Pallas, here to do the takeaways of the Katharine Berkoff interview. And honey, you were at the 50th celebration of NC State women's swimming, and you said you were very moved by it. And, you know, Katharine is kind of the culmination of all the success of NC State women's swimming. What was your first takeaway of just listening to this interview and hearing what Katharine is doing? What was your first takeaway?
That she has realized now, after having completed her college swimming career, just how sleep deprived she was and during her entire swimming career at NC State, and that now she can take naps, she can sleep, and that I immediately thought, kind of reading into that she may be able to go faster now because she's going to have better sleep, better healing, and better rest and recovery, which is extremely important. So, yeah, I think she could still achieve lifetime best times.
Yes, I know you tremendously follow sleep protocols and you're a big sleep expert. So this one must have really just hit you.
Yep, it did indeed. I love my sleep hygiene, and in fact missed out on going to dinner with the entire crew last night with a late night 9 p.m. dinner because I wanted to get my sleep.
Oh, that's great. Well, my takeaway, there's more than one, but it's a short interview, so we'll each just give one. My takeaway, my main one, is that there was so much pressure on Katharine going into Olympic trials and going into the Olympics, you know, 3rd ranked in the world in 100-meter backstroke. And she had confidence, utter confidence in her ability to perform at that level, both at Olympic trials, which some say is the most high pressure swim meet in the world, even more so than the Olympics, and then to perform again at the Olympics, and that she did it because her training gave her that confidence. She said, I knew that I had done the training. I knew how I was performing. I had swum fast. I knew I could do it again. So I think that gives you such a solid foundation and a mindset of I've performed in practice and therefore just happens in the meet. It's like you're confident. What do you think of that, honey?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. I mean, if we have protocols and routines just in general in life, like I get up every single morning to do sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, dips, and Myrtle hip girdle exercises. So if I'm on the road, I still do them. If I'm tired, I still do them. The only time I won't do that is if I'm sick. So by having this, it's almost like a default. It's almost like breathing. That is pretty much exactly what she experienced there. She just was like automated. I mean, it was like an automatic process.
Right. That the champions do those things. You keep doing things that you know are going to make you successful. And in the same vein, while we heard her say several times, you know, she was confident she could do this, she was confident that she could do that. even someone who wins an Olympic bronze individually, an Olympic gold for USA relay in the Olympics, can feel that she is socially awkward. It's just, she doesn't seem socially awkward. She seems like incredibly confident, but I love the fact that she has that little vulnerable side, that authentic side, to share that, in an interview, that we all, have these things where we may be, A+ in one area and then another area where we don't feel as confident, but we can work on it. She said she's working on getting less socially awkward. And I loved that real raw, vulnerable, authentic part of her.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's great that she can acknowledge that. Self-awareness is hugely important in general in life. And perhaps the first step in becoming more socially intelligent or more socially articulate is to accept the fact that one is sort of weak in that area and then one can grow. I think that's great. I think it's beautiful. And by the way, I agree with you. I think she did a wonderful job. And I don't think she appeared to be socially awkward at all.
Yes, yes. Well, there's one in the books for the NC State legacy, celebrating 50 years of NC State women's swimming. And of course, like I said, the whole Katharine Berkoff fan club, which there are many far and wide across the world. What a great chance to get to talk with Katharine. Thanks for joining me, honey. Love you.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Thank you for listening to the Champions Mojo podcast. Did you enjoy the show? We'd be grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review on iTunes to help others find us. And we'd also love to hear from you. We're on all social media platforms, or you can reach us at championsmojo.com.